What is up, sports fans? We are back for another episode of The Fan in the End. I'm your host, as always, Steven Rychel, being joined by the big man to the right of me, Mr. Ben Troupe, and the man on the mic, Mr. Marvin Powell the Third. How are we doing today?
Doing good, doing good, doing good.
Yeah, Steve, we're good, brother. Happy to be here.
Yeah, always a fun one. Always a fun one. We're supposed to have Jumaine Jones on. He's not here at the moment. He could be here in between now, 12 o'clock. So one way or another, we're gonna hop into some of these topics today. Have some fun doing what we normally do here on the South Florida Tribune, and like every episode here on the Fan in the End, this episode is brought to you by our good friends over at Fight Wax. Fight Wax is the ultimate skincare defense. Helps treats cuts, swelling, scrapes, and abrasions, rejuvenates and restores stressed skin. Customers have used for soreness, stiffness, recovery, designed for athletes of all active lifestyle. Provides an ultra silky, non-greasy feel, deep hydration for everyday skincare. Helps fight dry skin. Customers have used for eczema, psoriasis, and other skin disorders. And when you head over to the website, make sure you use that code SFT15FW and save 15% off on your order. Lots to digest. Now, last week obviously, was still the LeBron James thing, and it's still the LeBron James thing. We were talking about the financial impact, right? And there were some people, after some of our reels came out, and they were just boo-hooing the whole thing, right? Well, let's just take a little look into this, right? Let's just take a little look into what's already happened, right? StubHub ticket jumped, anywhere between 200 and 207 surged to 407. SeatGeek went from 107 to 540. TickPick went up, was already at 165. It was up 142% above last season. Season tickets are sold out, and obviously Fanatics, the LeBron James jersey sold out in 2 hours. All-time record for the first 48 hours of any player joining any team. Most apparel sold in the first 24 hours, an entire first week. Trumped his switch from Cleveland to LA. So. And basically, he's now held like 8 of the top 10 products on the Fanatics network. So, the economic effect of LeBron James going to Philadelphia is a real thing. You can be you can not like him. You can say whatever you want to say, and people are saying a lot of things about this, right? I'm gonna say one thing though, the fact that they're on 37 national TV games, or 34, I'm sorry. 34 national TV games this upcoming season means that not just the fans are excited about this, but the league office is excited about this. So, but there's always going to be guys running their mouth. So I mean, it's interesting. We'll get into some of the comments in a minute. But we'd already talked about this last week, seeing the numbers, and we're not even into the season yet, and we're already seeing the economic impact. Marvin, seeing some of those numbers, are you surprised at all by any of them?
No, I'm not. And it really only, makes his argument of GOAT for those who think he is the GOAT even stronger. Because when you look at what separates athletes, their ability, and look at Jordan, his ability to turn NBA and being an athlete into business stardom. You know what I'm saying? His ability to generate dollars and be a draw. And you've only seen so many athletes like that. Muhammad Ali, Pele, Babe Ruth. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron is in that conversation, period. And this is evidence of it. We're talking about a man in his 40s going into his 24th year in the NBA. And, people talk about he's fallen off and he's no longer a top 5 player, and the argument versus him and Jordan is crazy. And again, I think Jordan is the GOAT, but I do believe LeBron is the king. And those are two different things. With that said, it does legitimize every argument for LeBron James. I mean, there's no athlete right now that is moving the needle like LeBron, other than one of these top 3 soccer players, okay, in the world. But in American pro sports, who else is commanding this type of attention? Pat Mahomes? No. Curry? No. LeBron is king. He's the king of it all. You know what I'm saying? And you look at Michael Jordan, and he's the standard. But you look at Michael Jordan as somebody who established what it is to take your athletic game and cross over into the business world and have major corporations, Nike, investing in you like never before, and just changing how athletes are represented in the business world. LeBron is that, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's unbelievable. But at this stage of his career, we're not talking about year 5, year 10, when he's without question the best player in the game. We're talking about year 24. You know what I mean? So the LeBron, the thirst for him, and I mean in a positive way, the desire to his greatness is shown in the numbers. The numbers tell you, the economics tell you that he's him. He is the king. So yeah, all of this makes perfect sense for all of the people who've looked at his career objectively and just recognize his greatness and recognize how different he is. Think about this: in the free agent era, he's going on his 4th team now. His 4th team. Okay, so far he's 3 for 3 in bringing these cities championships. 3 for 3. He gets a championship in Philadelphia. Oh my God! I mean, again, when you look at his career objectively, is he the GOAT? No, I think that Jordan on his best day played at. We're talking about splitting hairs. I do think that, but I think Jordan on his best day edges everybody. You know what I mean? I do. But LeBron, and I don't even know if LeBron's 2 on the GOAT list, but he's the king, and you cannot deny that.
Here's the thing: why I have a problem with that the GOAT conversation. They're 2 totally different players. 2 totally different players. They both do things that the other can't. So it's like what you said. You can call Michael the GOAT, but then LeBron's the king. He is a generational athlete. There's nobody, when everything's said and done, that's going to play as long as him, as well as he has. So I mean, you can split hairs all you want, and you can talk about ring chasing. You can talk listen. We talked about it last week. Everyone ring chases. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez. Michael Jordan ring chased, but just the fact that it was done a different way because LeBron's doing it differently. He ruined the NBA in some weird fan's mind. No, I don't think he ruined the NBA, and I think this is just the way it goes. He didn't create this team. And they confirmed it. Remember what I told you last week? I want to thank Brad Stevens for bringing LeBron James here. They just had the Sixers GM throughout the first pitch at the Phillies game, and they had him in the press box. He said exactly what I said before he even knew it. After the Jaylen Brown trade, that he decided to pick up the phone and call Rich Paul, be like, listen, we got Jaylen Brown here now. Do you think LeBron's interested? And that kind of kicked off the whole thing. So if the Celtics doesn't give up on Jaylen Brown, LeBron James is in a different city right now.
Steve, man, let me tell you something. It's so crazy that people get on him for ring chasing. On the other hand, if you're an athlete who admits they do it for the bag, Floyd said he's a prize fighter. I fight for a prize, okay? If you chase the money, people look at you as all you care about is the money. He's telling you he don't care about the money. He wants the ring. He wants greatness. He wants to be around greatness. You know what I'm saying? And we should admire, why don't we admire that, especially those who, hate the fact that these athletes get paid so much money and all they want is the money and all they care about is no, it comes with it. Again, they're professionals, okay? So they get paid for the service, and the NBA is a meritocracy. So those who are the best going to pay the most. LeBron been making $50 million a year for a while now, rightfully so, right? Just in basketball money. But he's doing it for the love of the game, for the love, for the glory, for all that, for all the good reasons. He wants to be a champion and do that for Philadelphia and his own legacy. And it's crazy how people don't argue that portion of it, in this moment.
Ben, I know. Me and Marvin went over a couple different things.
Nah, it's cool. I would say this about LeBron, right? You know, Michael Jordan. Some could say he is the standard, right? When Michael Jordan came to the NBA, you had two coaches. You had Bird with the Celtics, and obviously you had Magic with the Lakers. You get this guy from North Carolina, he goes to the Midwest, and it's like he just did something for the Midwest that only he could. Michael Jordan is unblemished in the NBA Finals. Remember when nobody thought the North team would do a three-peat? What did Kobe and Shaq do? They had a three-peat, right? Who did they have? This guy named Phil Jackson. Who did he used to coach? Oh, he coached Mike, and he coached Pippen, right? Here's the thing about LeBron. How many Hall of Fame coaches LeBron had? Oh, that would be none. Oh, none of his coaches? No, Tyronn Lue. I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, Spectre, he might, you know, he might get one down there in Miami. But here's the thing about LeBron, right? LeBron is not only the standard, right? He's the GOAT. LeBron is a billionaire athlete while he's playing. He didn't buy a team. He didn't get with an investment group. No, I'm a billionaire right now. While I'm currently playing, there will never, ever be another billionaire basketball player while they're playing. Wemby ain't going to do it. These future guys ain't going to do it. But the thing about it is, LeBron just made the 76ers the most must-see TV in basketball in 2026. That's what we watching the 76ers. There are people who ain't never seen. Yes, there's a difference in watching Embiid and watching the 76ers. Now I'm watching the team with Embiid on. And I think the thing about LeBron is LeBron knows this. He goes, hey, man, to be good for basketball, I got to be good for business. And I'm both. Adam Silver told him we will not put out the freaking schedule until he says where he's going. Why? Because we want to make sure he got marquee games. We want to make sure that you know how they do marquee games? They'll literally look at who's the East Coast is the people that they go to sleep the earliest. So how can we make sure before they go night-night, they see LeBron? Oh, make sure he got marquee games, Christmas, New Year's, all these different things. But once again, LeBron is the king because he superseded expectations. LeBron don't got as many championships as Tim Duncan. He don't got as many as Kobe. He don't got as many as Mike. But LeBron is still the most relevant player, and he's been doing it for 24 years. Think about that. Like, we're not talking about a person. We're not talking about Jay-Z that can sell out Madison Square on the same night that the concert goes up. We're not talking about Beyonce that has to do a tour and we see how much he generates. We talk about one dude made a decision and he hasn't even touched the court for the 76ers. And look at what he's already done. He hasn't even played. They got him coming in and out of whatever he's going to shop at. Paparazzi had to move to Philly. Hey, bro, we got to move. What you mean? What you mean what we got to do? We got to move to Philly. We got to be all over this dude. Why? Because, man, don't you want to go to the next level? Don't you want to be able to take our company to the next level? We want to get exclusive. We want to do it. And Jalen Rose saying things like, oh, the NBA now is just talking about LeBron and everybody used to couple LeBron and his cronies. No, that sounds like hate again. There go that hate again. There go again. And Marv, we talk about this every week, right? LeBron brings out a different level of NBA coverage has become so weak. It's now led by men, women who didn't play or LeBron stands, former teammates. Oh, so now we talking about people that didn't play basketball again, talking about the game? Well, here's the thought. Who's the greatest NFL coach of all time? Bill Belichick. Did he play the NFL? Oh, he didn't. Who's the greatest college coach of all time? Nick Saban. Did he play it? He was a big-time college player? No, Jalen. You know what Jalen is really saying? And Jalen, I can say this. Where you at, Jalen? You didn't have a problem with NBA coverage when you was hyped by the NBA. But now that people ain't checking for you, reinvent yourself. You got a podcast, and you got a name. But to say that it's weak because no. It's going to get weak when LeBron leaves. Oh, when he leaves, because now we got to watch everybody. LeBron make it so that you don't even got to watch everybody. You know how irrelevant LeBron makes most NBA teams? Forget players. Because you don't even know most of the players anymore. But when former NBA players come out and say the NBA coverage is weak, that's like somebody saying, "Well, my era was greater than your era." Was it? Yeah, man. Back when we played, and I say, well, okay, that could be the case. But LeBron makes sure, hey man, my farewell tour, I'm still starting. Yes, I've lost a step. Of course he has. He's 41 years old. Think about that. It took him 24 years to lose a step. He's still better than most. He's still better than most. You know why? Hey, why don't they ask what's going on in Miami? They panicking because he didn't go. Why don't they talk about what's going on in Golden State? They panicking because he didn't go. Draymond Green waited to sign to make sure they had money for LeBron. Ain't nobody talking about that. Cleveland, if you ever want to know, do people want to play with James Harden? This is it. LeBron said, no. Hell no. I'm not going over there. He's over there. James Harden. So this is not surprising to me. Once again, I would have loved, quite honest, I ain't been to a Hawks game since Dominique Wilkins was there. So it's like, hey, that's crazy.
I did want to touch on a couple of the comments some of the people made during the week about some of the things, and some of it's just stupid nonsense. And you even had Kevin Durant basically sitting there standing up for him, but Jason Williams with his nonsense coming out of his mouth, I don't think we could take him serious anymore. Basically, saying after everything came out, the Knicks are going to be better, the Miami is going to be better, Orlando Magic are going to be better, and we'll finish higher than the Sixers. I can't. Listen, I don't think this team is going to be like one of the greatest teams of all time. It's their first year together. There's going to be some growing pains. They're going to have to figure out what's going to work best for them. But you can't tell me they're going to not be a high 50s, potentially 60-win basketball team.
It wouldn't shock me if this ended up being the first real super team that succeeded. And what they have on their side is LeBron's experience, and that he's gone through this in Miami. He's gone through how do we handle ball distribution. The one thing that we know about LeBron, when you look at his assists, even though he's the greatest scorer in the history of the game, he also plays the game offensively aggressive with no ego. And he's all about, basketball efficiency, which is why he, you know what I'm saying? This is going to flow, I think. I'm not saying, game one, we're going to see it, but after that All-Star break, don't be shocked if this team is looking playoff ready, you know what I'm saying? And smooth, because the leadership matters. It does.
When you debunk the whole super team thing, because when you look at it, all right, obviously the comparison is those 17, those 2017 Warriors, right?
Mm-hmm.
When KG joined that team, they were already 73-9 in the previous season. They lost in the NBA Finals. Curry was the MVP, Coach of the Year, 3 All-Stars, and all this. LeBron joined a Sixers team that barely made it into the playoff. They were 45-37, lost in the second round. Maxi's the only All-Star. VJ was an all rookie team. Like it's not the same. It's not the same thing. Did they go and add Brown and LeBron in free agency via and trade? Yeah, they did. But you can't sit there and tell me that's a super team. We don't know if they're a super team yet. Well, but I agree with you.
But Marv and Steve, but you know what they're trying to do? You notice they try to make things derogatory terms when LeBron does it. Right? Super teams been going on, by the way. You don't think Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, and Dennis Rodman is a super team?
Hello? I was going to say when they added Rodman, that made them a super team, right?
Here's why I say it, Marv. No, here's why I say it. No, I want to go back to what Jay Will said. He said the Knicks going to be better, the Magic going to be better. He said they might have a better record than the 76ers. You know what he didn't say? He didn't say they're going to beat them in the series. That's what he didn't say. See, because here's the thing. Does it really matter where you end up in the NBA as long as you make it in? Because you got to win folk. So the NBA is different than the NFL. I want home field advantage in the NFL because it's different. If I'm a hot weather team, I want to keep it hot. If I'm a cold weather team, I want to keep it cold. Now, here's the thing about the Knicks. The Knicks superseded expectations in 2025. Congratulations to them, right? Don't nobody want to deal with LeBron in the playoffs, especially when he can just play his game. When I don't got to worry about playing center, when I don't got to worry about playing power forward, when I don't got to bring the ball up, hold on, LeBron can run back on offense and just get in position and just wait, create without the ball. You know what's crazy though? Why LeBron make people so mad though? God, he got to pick one team. Oh, he didn't. I'm just saying. But you know what though? Don't everybody want a super team though? Isn't that the goal? Isn't the goal to have the best team I can have on paper? But when that happens, people don't like Howie Roseman, Steven, because he goes, how does he keep doing this? No. I draft well. We actually develop and we retain and we get free agents. Isn't that what a GM is? The GM is to get the best possible players under the cap I can get, right? No, this is what LeBron just did. LeBron just made the GM, who I think is Elton Brand. I could be wrong, for the 76ers. He just made the GM for the 76ers look brilliant because he picked the 76ers. You know who he made not look brilliant? The GM for Golden State, the GM for Miami, the GM for Cleveland. Because guess what? Say what you want about the GM for LA. He got LeBron there.
Yes, sir.
It don't matter if he's gone. I got him. Every GM think he good. You know what they say? If you good, get LeBron. What? Get it. Because Donovan Mitchell, superstar. James Harden, superstar. Bam, he could play. Giannis, superstar. Draymond, he could play. Steph, superstar, didn't want him. I want Embiid. I want Jaylen Brown. So, like I say, if you've never been a part of something great, you only get pissed off at greatness. I can't stand them. I hate them. But if you've ever tasted it, I got to play under Steve Spurrier, so I got to see what it's like when I didn't really have a lot to do with a lot of the winning when Coach Spurrier was there because it was my first 2 years in college, but I got an SEC championship. I get to say, yeah, I was a part of his last SEC championship. And yes, I was able to become a halfway decent player before I left Florida. But if you've ever been a part of something that not even you can mess up, that's greatness. You can't even mess up. You cannot mess greatness up because, and with LeBron makes everything super. If he's there, oh, it's super. Now, what you mean? Because he's recognized. That's LeBron James. We signed with the 76ers. All the Phillies got to the ballpark the next day, walking by the camera. Didn't even know they had a camera behind the scenes and the baseball. And LeBron James, Bryce Harper, and Schwarber. Why? Because they know, hey, man, we stars. Yeah, that's a superstar. And I'm not saying that Bryce Harper ain't a superstar. That ain't what I'm saying. Because he is. But LeBron James is a celebrity that plays basketball. A lot of guys that play basketball, they famous because they play basketball. But how many guys in the NBA you would know them, Marvin, Steve, if they didn't have the? I ain't talking about Ant-Man. I ain't talking about Wemby. I'm talking about how many guys, if they was walking through the Atlanta airport, Marvin, you trying to get somewhere, will make you stop and go, oh shoot, that's so and so. It's not many. You can see LeBron in traffic. You know, he's gonna bop. Yo, LeBron, you're gonna try to get his attention. And we grown men with wives and kids and paying taxes and going to dentist appointments and going. LeBron does something that only he does. He makes you watch. There ain't with Trae Young. I didn't pay to go see him play. Like Trae, I can watch him on TV. With my second year in the NFL, it was something in Atlanta to where the Heat was playing. The Heat were playing. Oh my God, the Heat were playing the Denver Nuggets back when Carmelo was Carmelo. And I said, I'm going. Udonis Haslem was obviously he spent his whole time with I got his man, you know, we had a little fake beef in college. You know, Udonis is a little older than me, but I was in his old dorm room. You know how like you get the previous person's dorm room from the previous year, Marv? Mm-hmm. I mean, to be honest, a chick he used to try to holler at the kid. He ain't like it, but you know, he ain't gonna try me. I'm not losing a basketball player. I don't care if you're 7 foot. I don't care. You're not beating me. But I shouldn't have said that to my teammate because they trying to blow it up. Because when we get to the game, they like, Troupe, say something. But we grown. He reached. I was sitting behind him. He kind of turned around. I said, "What's up, UD? It ain't no beef. It's just Shaq was on the heat then. Shaq was on the heat, and Shaq didn't play. Shaq stood up and he walked in. He didn't play. He stood up and walked to the locker room. Every woman in the freaking arena, whether she's married, single, Shaq going crazy. So, and that's what LeBron is, man. LeBron got Chuck mad, Jalen Rose mad, Jay Will mad. The only people who ain't mad at LeBron are people who cover him and 76ers fans. Because 76ers fans right now, I'm not going to say some of y'all ladies on here congratulating him for being the 76ers. I hope your man ain't watching. Because some of these videos.
Well, like you were sitting there saying, a lot of people were excited about it. Like, you were talking about the Phillies and stuff. You're not the only one. Like, they even talked to Jalen about it, right? Obviously. And, he was like, I think for what he represents in sports culture, it's huge. It's huge for the city. It's huge for Philadelphia. I'll be excited to have a figure like that in the city and what he's done. One of the greatest to ever do it, and I'm excited to be a part of that. So, like, even though if it's not your sport, so these other superstars, athletes, guys in the city, they know what he means, not just to the city but to the sport itself. And it's something like when you get minds like that together, you know that they're gonna have situations where they're able to go pick each other's brain and stuff like that. So it's good to see that. And
I'm calling it right now. Hey, yo, Jalen. Hey, yo, Jalen Carter. Get a LeBron James cleat. I better sell out. Get a LeBron James cleat and it's gone. I'm just telling you, because you don't believe me. Deion Sanders, why did he bring his cleats back out? Because he's popular, right? Why did he come back out with it? If a basketball player got a football cleat, I'm sorry, they do got a basketball player with a football. His name was Jordan, right? Jumpman, right? So LeBron, hey, if you ever gonna start a cleat, I know two guys gonna buy them. Every Philadelphian and Gilly the Kid. Gilly gonna buy something. He ain't got a choice.
That's not the only thing they got going on. They'd already announced that they're in the middle of trying to nail down an agreement on a Last Dance style type of documentary on LeBron leaving the city. So it's
hold on. Wait. Netflix ain't telling LeBron, hey boy, if we did it for him and he's done, of course we'll do it for you. You current.
Ben, to your point earlier, the only people who hate super teams really are fans whose team is now a super team. You know what I'm saying? And fans whose teams aren't being aggressive in free agency like that. You know what I mean? And Steve, you had mentioned, last year they barely made the playoffs and all that stuff. You know what? This is the difference between the Sixers and that Warriors team we were talking about. The Warriors team was already loaded before they got Durant. Okay. But, Philly, you have to look at them like bland food. You know what LeBron is? He's salt. Okay. And when you add that one ingredient to an already existing situation, it changes the whole situation. Right? That's what LeBron brings to the table here. That's what he's bringing to the table, And look, man, consider this. If you watched him play last year, like I watched him play, okay? I watched quite a few Laker games. LeBron, when he wants to score, he can still score. He's still smooth from the three. He can still take you to the paint like grown man style. He can still post up like a real power forward. You know what I'm saying? Like he might not be as fast or be able to play as many minutes, but when he's on, he's still LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we'd already talked about when LeBron wants to take over a game, he's going to take over a game. But here's the thing: is that he's in a situation where he doesn't have to. He can just, pick his spots, pick his shots. Even even take a few plays off, so to speak, just because the offense ain't going to be run through him. He's going to be, the decor, the guys trying to catch, flash and catch the defense attention. Next thing you got Maxey in the corner wide open for a three, or Edgecombe's wide open, or you miss a shot and Embiid puts it back where he doesn't have to worry about going in the paint and fighting for rebounds. I think they have a potential, if everything works the way I think it should. They could not only be a deep playoff contender, but they very well could be a championship team. LeBron's first year.
Of course, Steven. Of course they could. And guess who know that? Everybody in the NBA does. And everybody in the NBA knows Kevin Durant went to a team that already won without him because Draymond Green called him. Hey, KD, bro, we need you. Don't give me that, I'll think about it. No, we need you. And guess what? KD was the best player on that team. We get it. KD won 2 MVPs, right? You know how hard it is to win when you ain't on a team with superstars? Ask KD. How many did he win without Golden State? And he's had Kyrie. He got James Harden twice. He got a young James Harden. We do 6th man of the year. Then he got James Harden again, right? He had Devin Booker. It wasn't him and Devin Booker. KD has had some players. You know what KD won't say? He won't say out loud, yeah, I can't do it by myself. LeBron, I don't know how he does it. Like, I don't know how he takes all the criticism, but he's still going to lead the team in minutes played, points, assists, rebounds, blocks. Didn't that first finals that LeBron and them lost, they almost gave the MVP. I mean, when they lost to Golden State, they almost still gave the MVP to LeBron. He played that well, right? Kevin Love. Why does Kevin Love got to see? Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving and Dwight Howard, these dudes get it, and Anthony Davis, these boys can say, I'm an NBA champ. Why? Because I played with LeBron. Because I played with LeBron, I get to say, so when it comes to the 76ers, Joel Embiid is going to get what Luka got. Remember people talking about how Luka's conditioning, he don't look like that now? Because LeBron got him right. Hey, bro, you can't look like that in public. What you mean? I know you can hoop, but you got to look the part. You don't believe me? Yeah. Tom Brady don't play football no more. He still look the part, don't he? Yeah, because I still want to.
Travis Kelce look like this going into camp.
Man,
that wedding weight's real. That wedding weight's real.
I saw. I think the thing is too. I think the thing is right. When you see certain people in public, like you meet them or you get to be around them, they got that aura about them. You know what I'm saying? Like the former owner of BET. It was a BET sponsored event. He is the owner and founder and CEO. He's walking with Michael Jordan. And he said, now I get it. He said, I ain't never seen people act like that. Like, security is people trying to jump over the barricade. You know what I'm saying? And I think with a place like LeBron and a place like Philly, to where y'all, if you in Philadelphia, it's like Marv being from LA. You don't get to pick different teams. Now, Marv get to pick the Jets because his daddy played there. I got to live there. That's different. You from LA, you either get the Dodgers. Well, no, I'm sorry. You only get the Dodgers. Sorry, Anaheim. Ain't nobody picking the Angels. What? They're not. Anybody picking the Angels.
LA's a Dodger town, 100%.
I'm just saying. Now, here's the thing. The only split in LA, to me, that's real, is UCLA and SC. You're not Clippers fans. Outside of Marcellus Wiley, I've never met one. I've never met a Clippers fan. From LA, it's Lakers, man. And SC, not to compare the two, you go to UCLA when you didn't get the SC. That's what I was told. Every SC they couldn't get in. That's what I was told. Now I don't know if that's true, but nothing against you. Listen, UCLA Bruins, y'all got a great tradition with different players. But people say, hey man, what college you want to go to if you're from LA? You from California? Yeah. You want to go to SC. They'll say, why not UCLA? They be like, it's UCLA? Talking about a Bruin, a Bear? No. And that's nothing against UCLA. I ain't coming at them. So I just think that now these Philadelphians, they so ready to talk trash to these New York Knicks fans. They talking trash anyway. But now it's them beefed up even more.
And look, when I said they're going to be the first super team to really hit it, What I really meant was when you think of a super team, you think of a potential for dynasty and multiple championships. That's what you think in the fantasy world, right? On paper, you look, man, because that's how I felt about Brooklyn when they had, KD and Harden and Kyrie. I was like, who in the heck is going to compete with that for years to come? They about to take over, right? Philly, listen, this is on LeBron. I know he signed a 2-year deal, but he's still waiting for Bryce to come up, right? I don't know how many years Bryce got till he get to the league. And for as good as he looked, man, LeBron may go beyond 2 years. And if they win a championship,
and you're right. Rich Paul even said it that he said coming to Philadelphia has re-energized in a way that he never imagined. He's like he signed for 2, but he could play for 4.
Yeah, I didn't hear him say that. But yeah, I agree.
And could you imagine? I know this is crazy. Could you imagine if Philadelphia does the unthinkable and wins the chip, and then they go back to back, and LeBron resigns to come off the bench? Because usually by the end of your career, that's what you're doing. Hey, man, I used to be a starter. Now I'm a bench guy, right? LeBron has started for 24 years. A starter.
And you like to say this a lot, Ben. Like things that change, things that don't exist since Bron started. Here's one that I just wanted to get a laugh out of you. Remember when Bron came in? It was 2K, right? Look on the right when LeBron first came in. Weighted NBA 2K look to where it looks now, where it's damn near life. Like he went from like Roblox looking like to real animation there. So listen, his longevity is a real thing. Marvin calls him the king. I call him Iron Man. Whatever you want to. He is going to still be the topic of conversation for men's professional basketball, at least for the next few years. But I do want to get into some WNBA talk. So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, a little bit of ugly. Let's start with the bad. The bad look that came out this week when both it was caught on camera recording that Angel Reese and Paige Buckners were shown on video waging an outcome in the game. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Egelberg, basically had a conversation and kind of said there's going to be no penalties or anything like that. They're flirting with some dangerous stuff there. Like, look, I get it. It's not like they went to a bookie and placed a bet or something like that. And let's not act like this is the only time this has ever happened in professional sports. 2 athletes go and make a personal wager between it. That's normally kept behind closed doors. If there's a bet, you don't make sure there's video evidence of it where after the game, that video is floating around social media and everyone's getting a chance to take a take in it. If you're gonna show this side of it, it's gonna unveil a behind the scenes type of situation that I know the WNBA isn't ready for that firestorm. We've already talked about it. They have a serious problem in upper management, and it's absolutely come to the forefront over the last few weeks. I'll start off with Marvin. Do you think it's a potentially dangerous situation? The whole player betting thing getting out there in the public. It's not like it came out a few weeks later it was literally right after the game it came out. It's just WNBA finding ways to punch themselves in the face again.
Yeah. Listen, players have been betting since before Vegas ever existed in the desert. Okay. And, it doesn't have to be something huge and formal with a bookie and this and that. It could be just 2 dudes, saying, hey, I bet you, we score 5 touchdowns today or whatever it may be. I mean, that's not something that I heard on a regular basis, but the reality is it exists and it always has. Do I think they have a huge problem? I think the more that gambling becomes accessible, the easier it becomes. The more we try to streamline it as a normal part of sports culture, I think you're going to see numbers across the board go up. Now, one thing, Ben, to tell you is that, when you walk into any professional building, sports, New York Jets facility, whatever it may be, they have signs everywhere about gambling. Players know not to gamble. You've known that for years and years not to gamble. You were told that, you know what I mean? But I think, it is what it is, man. Do we have a problem? I think the problem's going to grow, but I think there are also going to be greater penalties, and we're going to see these different leagues do more things to ensure it doesn't happen. So, I mean, do they have a problem? Yeah. And with the WNBA, the problem with them, and I said in the last show, is they fumble everything in regards to how to present, or how to address issues or what's going on, whatever it may be. I feel like they don't get the bigger picture, I think, and understand opportunity as it pertains to media, and how to show leadership and how to show accountability in a healthy way. You know what I'm saying? So I think there is going to be a problem. I think it's inevitable across the board. I think whenever big money is involved, you're going to always have greed and desire at an all-time high. And, yeah, so I think this will be a problem moving forward. But they're not. It's not going to stop leagues from playing. It's too much of a cash cow. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to figure out a way. But hustlers and gamblers and dudes who just want to make side bets or friendly bets, whatever, they're going to do that. Whether it's with a teammate or with a bookie or on an app.
What are your thoughts, Ben? Is this?
I think that sometimes when it comes to the WNBA, it's almost like they're trying to reinvent things that no one does. Meaning, that it's y'all mic'd up. Paige, Angel, y'all are some of the most recognizable players in the WNBA. Y'all are some of the faces, right? The question is why? Like, why bring unnecessary attention? Now, let me, and I'm pretty sure Marvin did this too. Betting is rampant in the NFL. But if you can't catch them, they didn't do it. It don't matter what you doing. You got to catch me doing it, right? Do people bet? Yeah. Of course, wherever there is money, there is betting. But here's the thing. If you didn't hear me do it, see me do it, feel me do it, because let me tell you what NFL players, NBA players ain't going to really do. And I ain't talking about Gilbert Arenas and how they be doing over there. We don't talk about each other for real. We don't do that for real. We talk about on the surface stuff because we all got dirt on each other. All of us do. Guys have gotten married. Sometimes these bachelor parties get a little out of hand. Ain't no cameras though. Ain't no for what? Only thing you're gonna smell the next day for the wedding reception is alcohol, because some people are drinking a little bit. When it comes to the WNBA, it's like they trying to self-sabotage, and I don't understand why. I don't understand it. Right? As many I can't remember what bowl game we went to. I think it was the Orange Bowl my second year at Florida. We played Maryland. And to get down there, our charter plane didn't go to Miami. Don't ask me why. So we got an extra, I think like $500-600 just to get down there. Because most of us are from the state of Georgia, from the state of Florida, so we can drive down. You got a bunch of boys from Florida, man. Them jokers know how to gamble. So a couple of them jokers, we got a couple of dollars. Somebody heard some dice clicking. Oh, you shoot? Oh, let's do it. Next thing you know, it's only one rule when it comes to shooting dice. If you take my money today, you got to give me a chance to make my money back tomorrow. That's it. After 2 days, now that's it. Well, you know me, Marv, I'm a side better. Once I look at that younger hand, and he give me about 2 or 3 sevens, I'm looking at the guy in front of me. Hey, man, listen, because you know how it is, Marv. Once the money hit the ground, that's a bet. Hey, man, and I'm young, but I got a youngin' in front of me. Hey, boy, all you got to do is put that, I hit him, man, just drop that $1 on the ground. Oh, that's mine right there. What it is, I done took people money. I ain't touched the dice one time because I ain't no shooter now. But I know a shooter when I see a shooter. I done walked away about like 200. And people thinking, hey, Troupe, man, I thought I'm still a country boy, man, but you was looking. I said, you want to get in on this? The game was going this way. Me and you, we this way. We signed it. Well, guess what? I came back the next day because he felt a little confident. He brought his homie with him, Mom. I said, we could go 2 for 1. Took their money too. And look, I say that to say gambling is going to happen. But if ain't nobody see me, hear me do it, it didn't happen. With Paige and Angel, what are y'all doing? Y'all act like y'all just found out about being mic'd up. I don't got to put a mic on you to hear you out there talking. First you wanted attention, you got it. First you wanted exposure, you got it. Then you wanted money, you got it. Now you about to F it up. The whole thing. And Marv, let me tell you what I'm gonna never do, Steve. Because I already told y'all I got my blood test. It came back negative. Ain't no hate in me. I'm not gonna mess up the money. I'm not, my daddy won't allow me to do that. Me? Nah. And guess what they doing? I know. On Monday night, right? I'm doing a show, right? They asked me about my boy Bijan Robinson. This is no lie. I said, I think my boy Bijan about to reset the market. I said he's gonna get something between 3 years and between 70 to 80 million, about 50-something guaranteed. What he got? 3 years, 75 million, about 51. You know why you get at the Bijan? He ain't messing up. Now Jameer Gibbs ain't got paid yet. Now I don't know if he gonna get what Bijan got, but he might. Why is that important? If somebody is negotiating with me and Marvin and Steve can't hear, I guarantee you, I might not tell you a number you like, but you ain't gonna dislike the number I accepted. I promise you won't like it. That's what they said. Yeah. With Paige and them, bruh, the fact that they know this going on, what you think they go? Now they sending out memos to the other teams. Now they talking to other teams about it. Now they got to have y'all. Man, y'all crazy. As much betting that goes on in the NBA and NFL, if 2 guys get caught, that ain't nothing. That's it. 2 guys. Now the refs, that Netflix special, that's different. Refs, that's different. But when I say we betting on, hey man, I'll tell the other tight end, man, I think I'm gonna have a better game than you. I'll tell, hey man, don't give up a sack or don't do, little stuff like that, right? Look, but stuff like, hey man, I bet you we beat y'all today. Do that in the bag. Wait, no, what during the game? And let's be honest.
Well,
let's
I'm
be
gonna
honest.
get to the good before I get to the ugly, because I think we all know where the ugly's gonna go this week.
Yeah.
So, the good is, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the Fever were the first WNBA team with 5 straight 100-point performances. 5. Now, the Fever has been one of those teams the last few years. They've been on the edge of potentially, being able to vie for a championship. So I'm going to ask you, with seeing that, seeing what how they're playing as a team, do you think this is the year the Fever actually are going to give Las Vegas a run for the money, give a run for the championship, or are they still another year or maybe 2 away? Ben.
They'll give them a run. They're gonna lose though, because they ain't got Asia. They'll give them a run. I mean, Asia Wilson and them wasn't even supposed to. They was on the verge of not making the playoffs last year, and they came back and listen to me. I know Asia and Bam. I know they dating. If they ever have a baby, that baby is gonna be 8 foot. That baby gonna be taller than Wimpy. But the WNBA is very simple. When you got the best player in the WNBA and they make it to the finals, you understand why. Because Becky Hammond, she gonna say they said they came to the sideline, they took a timeout, and Becky told Asia, she took the ball, threw it down, and said, "Get me a bucket." What? I ain't got no play. I got you. Give me a bucket. So I think it's good theater, right? I think it's great. Asia Wilson, man, she got her own shoe. I know NBA players ain't got their own shoe. You know what I'm saying? And they nice. I think Indiana they can take them to game 7, whatever. But who you want the ball in? Who gonna stop Asia? Hold on, I just because people think it's big, they think I'm biased, and I get it. So I just want to check something out real quick, because I'm not the best stat guy. But when I go to Asia Wilson, I see 3-time WNBA champion 2022, 2023, 2025. I see 2-time WNBA Finals MVP 2023, 2025. I see 4-time WNBA MVP 2020, 2022, 2024, 2025. Oh, this is 2026 season. Oh, okay, and she's still in the NBA. I mean WNBA. So yeah, I like Indiana. I think the Fever can be nice, but once again, how many WNBA players do you know I'm walking down the street?
About 4.
and Asia, and here's the thing. I love Bam. Bam scored 80-something points. He got the second most score points ever in the NBA. It's Wilt, it's Bam, it's Kobe. Bam, I think Bam will beat Asia in a one-on-one. But as far as like star power, Asia nasty, man. She the face of the WNBA, not named Caitlin Clark, not named Angel Reese. But yeah, I think it'll be good theater, man. But if you ever want to, if you ever want to become a fan of the WNBA, watch the finals. Cause it'll make you become. It's like getting the baseball and watching the home run derby. It'll make you enjoy the season. But yeah, I'm not saying Asian can't be beat. I'm saying you got to beat them, and it's gonna be hard to beat them. That's all I'm
saying. What about you, Marvin?
Yeah, listen. You got the hardest part about winning is winning again. You know what I'm saying? Now she's a multi-year champion. Asia Wilson has been just discussed. But what's dangerous to a champion is another team that's hungry. You know what I mean? You fighting off them young lions, them young wolves. You know what I'm saying? Who want to eat, and that's what Indiana is. And again, it's one of those things where with Caitlin Clark, either you love her or you hate her. Regardless of that, you gotta say she a baller, man. She big time. You know what I mean? She is. And I think she has her team. I think she has some players around her. I think, in her third year now in the WNBA, I think she's a confident player, and she's looking for that big stage. Again, when she was in Iowa, she was on the big stage, but she couldn't beat South Carolina, couldn't get over that hump. I think they lost to LSU as well. So, she's still looking for that big-time championship ring. I think it's going to come in the WNBA. And I do think that they are a team that can contend with Asia Wilson in Vegas.
I agree, but I do think they still needed another piece that somebody downloaded to stop an Asia Wilson. But I do think, as Ben said, they can get there. But to your point, Marvin, they gotta be hungry. You gotta play 210% for every whistle. So
because Marv, you like defense. Well, I forgot to say that the 2025 WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, Asia Wilson. Listen, she don't miss.
I'm not knocking. I'm not saying that they're not going to win, and I'm just saying that it's an uphill battle. When you're the defending champion, when you have the expectations, and you're going up against a young, hungry lion. I'm just saying.
Well, here's the thing, though, Marv. Though, is the WNBA as a collective ready to embrace Caitlin Clark as a WNBA Finals MVP? Are they ready for that? Because that's what's going to happen if the FIBA win. Caitlin's going to win the MVP. Because once again, I'm going to keep saying this. Look. It's okay to embrace the best players. It makes you look, one, not like a hater, right? And I understand what's good for business. It ain't that serious. Like if Tighter Than You was going on when I was in the NFL, I'm not going up there and Tony Gonzalez saying, you trash. And Antonio Gates, why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. And maybe I just come from an era to where I say, look, man, I don't want your lady. Your lady want me. She came at me, bro. And I told her, that's your man, right? That's your man. Because y'all ever seen the movie, what's the movie with Omar Epps when he was a football player? What's the name of it?
The Program.
The Program, right? The thing, I love that movie. But Halle Berry was tripping now. I'm just saying, she was with old boy that was starting already. Now, now, indeed, they wasn't friends, they just teammates. So she went with Omar. But if I'm on my else, I'm telling her, well, what happened when the next dude come in the ball? Because you seem to want to be with the starter. And they made old boy a fullback. I went from hoping to rock to blocking for him. Yeah, this is definitely a movie. I know this is a movie. Because if Marv got getting the run, and then somebody come in and they say, Marv, we want you to block for him, you like this. Who? No, tell him to block. What? I'm just saying. That's a good movie though. But I'm just saying there was some craziness going on in that movie. People spitting in each other's mouth. Ain't nobody doing all that for no game, man, bro. Watch the program if you ain't never seen it. It's a hell of a movie.
But listen, for y'all who haven't seen any Omar Epps movies, watch Love and Basketball. It's even better.
Watch how you're learning.
See,
Watch
he had to
that.
throw that in there because of the USC connection. Let's make
Hey,
that correct.
I ain't gonna lie though. You know what I'm saying? Omar Epps don't get enough credit. You know what I'm saying, for what he did, for actors or whatever. I know Denzel is in his own world, but Omar Epps got a nice resume. You know what I'm saying? Juice, The Brothers, what? The Wood. Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this. Just like,
Omar Epps doesn't get as much love as he should in the acting world. But let's get into the stupid before we get into the ugly, right? Y'all remember when Wemby got suspended during the playoffs last year, right? You know, got a little out of control. You know, throwing his arms around, elbowed somebody, and missed the game, right? So can somebody explain to me why this past week, another situation, and you know, Sophie Cunningham playing good defense, she gets cracked in the face, she's bleeding, whatever. There's no foul called on the person throwing the elbow. They fouled her. They fouled her. So we already talk about refereeing, judging, all that other stuff that, you know, we need to be better at. This is something the WNBA absolutely can control, and whoever is the ref team that calls a foul on Sophie Cunningham for getting elbowed in the face, blood's in her mouth, the whole nine. I don't know if y'all on somebody's payroll or what, but that had to be the worst foul call I've seen in an NBA game that I can remember in a long time. In a long time. I don't know if this is, you know, insider league punishment for the other stuff we're going to discuss in a minute, but if you're having one of your stars in one of those situations and they get a foul called on them when they're the one that caught an elbow in the face and they're bleeding, man, this league is in trouble. This league is in trouble. Marvin, I don't know if you've seen this, if you're first time hearing about it. What are your thoughts on the foul call for Sophie Cunningham?
A couple things. First, this human error is part of the game. You know, any time in refereeing is, even though the rules are sometimes black and white, a lot of it is subjective. You know what I'm saying? And it's what the eye caught. That's why we have instant replay, but we don't have them in all situations. But human error is part of the game. Again, it's selective outrage because it's only a problem when it happens to your team. When your team benefits from it, it's all good. You know, God is good, right? But, you know, it's a situation where, unfortunate, then you wonder, you know, if this is tied into all the drama that's been going on. You know, Sophie has made some comments about trans athletes.
Yeah, we're going to get into that in about a minute. I got it all lined up, bro.
You know, you wonder if that's crept into the minds of the refs. The refs are human beings too, y'all. They're professionals, you know, but so's the president. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I'm just saying that just because you got in a professional position doesn't mean that the human condition doesn't impact you. So you wonder, you know, if this is something aimed at Sophie through the ref. You hope not, because that's completely wrong. But yeah, human error is part of the game. It is what it is, and you're only mad if it didn't benefit your team.
Marvin, the referee, Ben, the referee call.
Yeah, I think, you know what, Sophie is kind of seeing what it's like to be, you know, to be like a Caitlin Clark. Superstar treatment in the WNBA is fierce, boy. When you start standing out, and all she did was point at people, she had the pointing meme, right? She did the pointing meme, and sometimes, I mean, Marv, maybe we got to have a Marv. Listen, we got to have a Marv segment every week. Like, why y'all so mad? Why y'all mad? Everybody don't have
rapper.
Same,
remember
right?
that? The mad rapper.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Sometimes I think you might be getting the type of attention I want to get. So maybe if I'm doing something towards you, right? And I get it. You know, Sophie Cunningham, you know, she's definitely becoming one of the, you know, bigger faces in the WNBA. But until you become a superstar, superstar treatment in the NBA ain't like superstar treatment in the WNBA. Superstar treatment in the WNBA, you getting beat up, you getting choked, elbowed, slammed, but no harm, no foul. Right? If these refs, which I know we're gonna get to, but these refs, they got feelings and emotions too. People say refs are unbiased. Huh. All right, keep thinking that the ref is unbiased. You know what's crazy? We don't know who these refs teams are, who these refs are related to, who they like, dislike. But guess what? Refs got access to social media. They look at stuff, see stuff. So sometimes we don't. We never privy to. They'll let us go into the huddle in the timeout. They'll let us go in the pregame huddle and warm ups. We never know what the refs talking about. We don't see them when they come in their huddle before. Hey, listen, we got this girl right here. Make sure you. We don't know. We don't know. And I'm not saying that's what they do. I'm saying we don't know. So Sophie, it's the cost of being a superstar. It's the cost of being one of the faces. It's the cost of being popular. And I'm not saying I'm a fan of being elbowed, but if you've never played basketball before, and if you've never been fouled hard before, you ain't played basketball that long. You ain't playing many games. If you didn't play football long enough to get hit hard enough to say this ain't for me, I don't know if I need to be doing. You didn't play football long enough. So sometimes you have to be reminded, hey man, you ain't getting you might think you a superstar, but you ain't getting a superstar treatment from the players. Not from us. You my opponent. And Marv, you know how I go. My brother could have played for another team. I'm trying to kill him. But do I want to hurt him? No. Do I want him to feel me? Yeah. And sometimes it's different methods. I tell you what, they could do a documentary on fumbles in the NFL. When it's a fumble, that pile, boy, some stuff going on at the bottom of that pile, boy. It's some stuff going on in there that shouldn't be going on. But guess what? I'm trying to get that pigskin. I'm trying to get that. Sophie, you'll be all right, shorty. Hey, man, maybe you won't, I don't know if she got some type of modeling gig or whatever, but you better appreciate this popularity. You can walk down the street and people say, Sophie, can I get an autograph and a picture? They wasn't doing that. I'm not saying they wasn't doing that before this year, but they ain't doing it like they're doing it now. You'll be all right.
She's in the Sports Illustrated spread this year. So she got it, but you're right. She's been dealing with a lot, and we're gonna get into it now. I mean, basically, non-basketball question was asked, and basically asking about trans athletes in women's sports. We've been dealing with this for 6 years or more. Riley Gaines is probably the most famous female swimmer now, just because of her stance on the matter, which is now, at least in Tennessee, going before it's going to become a law in Tennessee very soon, that there isn't going to be any biological males allowed in female sports. And it's not like this is a new discussion. So Sophie Cunningham, your comments this week, you're officially a member of the Common Sense Committee here on the South Florida Tribune. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. The fact that we're having to have this conversation yet again is just more testament to the nonsense. Listen, I'm not telling these people they shouldn't exist. They shouldn't be fighting for basic rights. What you do in your own personal time is your personal thing. If that's what you feel like you identify as a woman and you were born a man, that's your thing. Once we cross that realm and get into professional sports, when you've gone through puberty as a man, you've had a change, and then you're going to compete as a female athlete. That's where the line is drawn. I've been dealing with this for well over 20 years. People forget about MMA, but back before the UFC blew up as big as it was, we had a situation where there was this person in a similar situation. His name was Fallon Fox. She eventually got beat by a girl who wiped the mat with her, but she was competing for more than a few years as a man, and then went through the change. That's where we have the problem. Not just being the fact of the competition, but there's the other thing. Girls need to be protected. Women need to be protected from people like that. At the end of the day, you don't belong in the locker room, first and foremost. There is a place for you in this world, but when it comes to competing you can't be taking spots from a biological female. If the people who want to appease this want to create other leagues for these people to compete in where they can compete against? Absolutely. Let them do that. But when we're talking about the WNBA, right? Women's basketball. That, and what we've seen this week was absolutely disgusting on several different levels for it. So you've seen Riley Gaines go to the I think it was the Seattle Lynx game. She had a sign she was told to put down because it had Sophie's name on it. But then you have this other person basically, made a sign. It was like, for lack of a better saying, that she hated Caitlin Clark and didn't feel like she couldn't find some thanking Sophie because now she hates her. Whatever. This person isn't told to put their sign down. But then the WNBA took it another step further and found another way to stick their foot in their mouth. Was when the coach goes out there, trans kids belong. Now, first and foremost, kids. There's no such thing as a trans kid. That is a mentally ill parent projecting onto their children. If there's any child that is put in that I have a problem. We're gonna have a problem. I'm not telling you people you don't have a place in this world. I'm telling you when you do something like that to a kid, you're just as bad as a serial killer in my mind. You could say whatever you want about me. I'm this. I don't care. I don't have a hateful bone in my body, but when it comes to men and female sports, I have to draw a hard line. You're never going to see me back down from that. And even more so, we're seeing some of the comments that are coming out from the media members, right? And this one was probably the most sickening one of all. Was Cunningham is now acting and accepting the role that was built in for Caitlin Clark as the anti-gay, anti-black sentiment type thing. That's absolute utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. Some of the familiar targets that get kind of plays into this. Jameel Hill had a nonsense. My issue with Sophie Cunningham is she's recently become one of the most popular athletes in the WNBA. She has this platform. She's got a podcast. She's suddenly now the darling of the right-wing community and uses that platform to punch down on a group of people that are struggling to exist. I find that to be despicable. No, Jamil. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, honey. You're the one that's despicable for this. There should never be a female that is sitting there having to fight for her right to compete against a male. Now, we just talked about the coach. She's one crying about men taking jobs from the women in the WNBA, but then you're championing the trans community to come into the WNBA. And the one positive one that I've seen in there, and not surprising at all, is Stephen A. Smith is the man in the room. You're trying to tell me that college player plays for a men's college program anywhere in the country, NBA player should transition to being a woman and allowed to compete in the WNBA. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? I was so disgusted of the WNBA news cycle this week to a point that I could not look at my phone just because it was just more and more regurgitated nonsense. We have beaten this drum for years now. Years. We shouldn't be having this conversation anymore. And then some idiot wanted to bring up the fact that Sophie was a kicker on our high school football team. Yes, women have openly been allowed to compete in men's sports in those situations. Tell me when there's ever been someone that's made it past the kicker. Where's the female linebacker? It doesn't happen. Where's the female quarterback? It doesn't happen. Where's the female corner or safety? It doesn't happen. Not to sit there and saying that there couldn't be somebody in the future that could potentially do that, but they don't do it because they're not as big, as strong, as fast as them. So kicker is typically the position you would see a female athlete trying to compete in a men's sport to do that. Show me the one that is, girl transitions to being a man and they've been successful. It hasn't happened yet, right? Because it's probably never going to happen. But the fact that we're dealing with this on the WNBA level not only screams the idiocy of the management, but just how lost are we that we have to sit there and have this conversation when most of us who's gone through life that has common sense, we know what this is. We know what it is. Inclusion doesn't to a point that doesn't mean included into everything. There has to be a line drawn somewhere with it. I know I went through a lot there. I'm gonna start off with Marvin on this one. Marvin,
Well, I'll tell you what, boy, we going viral, Steve. We going viral for that. You know what I'm saying, Steve? Hey, we got passionate Steve in the hot takes, baby. I love it. Steve, I absolutely agree with the fact that individuals born male should only be allowed to compete with males, and individuals born female should only be able to compete with females. How you want to live your life is your right. You do what you want to do. I do not support any hate or anything against individuals who want to live their life in a way that doesn't impact another person's pursuit of happiness. So, I agree with you with that completely. With Sophie Cunningham, I mean, I haven't heard her podcast, but I don't, what's really happened here is in America where, everything's race. We don't want to, we don't want to talk about that and really get into that, but everything's about race. And that ties straight into politics, especially in these times. And when she takes a stance that's aligned with the conservative side, I think they automatically assume people put her in a category of, well, you must be like this as well with other things too. You know what I'm saying? They make a lot of assumptions, which I think is very dangerous. But at the end of the day, I don't know that she's really a victim. I think with her podcast, I think the attention is good for her. Period. Whether it's coming from the right, the left, whether it's a bad name in her, I mean, she's going to profit off of that, and she knows that. I don't know that she's necessarily playing into that, but she's allowed to have a position as well. It's okay. We have to be. We have to. No, I don't agree with promoting hate, and I don't think that's subjective. I think that's very clear when something's meant to be hateful. But I don't know that she's done that. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, so I think a lot of the media have put her in a position, made her look like she must be this and all this other stuff too. Obviously she's white, and they're, I just think they're taking advantage of the situation. People are eating it up, and that's just the times we live in. Though we live in an era where clicks matter. So this is all good for everybody's business. We talking about it, right? We talking about it. So I mean, it's you got to remember what you're dealing with this media machine, and you have to be able to do your own fact checking. But I think this young lady is being accused of stuff that haven't been proven to be true yet. I don't have a problem with her stating her position on anything political. That's fine. I don't know that she said anything hateful. But I also agree.
She made that clear, this isn't. I'm doing this because the girls need to the girls need to be protected. The women need to be protected.
100%.
She made that very clear at the beginning of this, and like you said, everyone's kind of turned this into something that it's not.
Because and listen, and the media always does. People just ain't paying attention. But anyway, go ahead, man.
I'm gonna say it like this: if an NBA coach wore a shirt like that, how long would they still A, be employed, B, not be suspended or fined?
Facts, Steve.
Oh, that's 100% fact. I mean, Sophie Cunningham, when you speaking for people who are afraid to say it themselves, they gonna comment on what you say because they can say, well, I didn't say it, she said it, right? If I walk around with a pro-black shirt, somebody gonna say, you anti-white? No. Exactly. What did my shirt say? If I say I'm anti-war, they're going to say, oh, you anti-soldiers? No. What does my shirt say? So if I say I'm pro-man, pro-woman, that doesn't mean I'm anti-transgender. That's not what she is saying, and that's not what people are saying. Let's call this what this really is. Some things we ain't well versed in. I'm just giving you my opinion on it, and you want to talk to me like I got a PhD in. I'm giving you my opinion on something, right? And let's call opinions what they really are. It ain't even what it's saying. It's all about who said it. It ain't even what it's done. It's who's doing it. Sophie Cunningham happens to look the part, be the part when it comes to this issue. Just like Caitlin Clark don't look the part when it comes to her issue.
And people are calling her a coward because she skirted it. I'm like, wait, I thought the players just need to shut up and dribble.
Exactly, but you know what's crazy though? But the people who have a lot to say are nameless faces. I'm not talking. Listen, I respect Jamel Hill can have her opinion just like Sophie Cunningham, but they making it known. This is how I feel, and I like banter back and forth. Right? We don't got to agree with each other all the time. The people I have a problem with are the nameless people on social media. They got Twitter fingers or X fingers, right? They have a lot to say. We are not gonna agree across the board, right? We're not. Right. And I think the thing is, there is no nuance anymore. Everything. So we got to walk in rooms that agree with everybody all the time. Everybody got to walk. We don't want unity means we all still have our own individual thought. Uniformity means we all look the same, sound the same. That's not happening. And when people say shut up, shut up and dribble, well, they was talking about LeBron because they don't want LeBron to say anything. Who are you? Right? But when Sophie says it, wait a minute, she's got a point. And all it is this. If I'm at a breast cancer awareness gala and I jump up and say, what about liver cancer? We ain't talking. I didn't say liver cancer wasn't bad. That ain't what we talking about. But here's the thing. God forbid you ask me a question and I answer it. Did you just answer that? Yeah. Why? Well, maybe that's a woman speaking on behalf of women. That could be a man speaking on behalf of men. And just because you don't like what they say, we never said that, look, however you want to live your life. It's like we got to pre-qualify stuff now. You know, if I walk in with two arms, somebody come in and they got one arm, arms are not on the spectrum now. No, they're not. He just has one arm. Right? Everything now we can criticize. So you can't say anything anymore. And let me say this. My opinion doesn't make me hate mongering, smearing hate. Hate? I don't hate these people. No, I'm giving my opinion. And my opinion might not be a fact. It's an opinion. Because guess what we don't like? We don't like people who you know why people listen, people like Michael Jackson because he can moonwalk. They don't like people who stand on business. I ain't moonwalking off it because I didn't say anything worth moonwalking off. I don't know Sophie Cunningham. That is her opinion. Just like I don't know Jamel Hill, and that's her opinion. I don't know Stephen A., and that's his opinion. When do we get to a point to where we can't even have disagreements? You got to start calling me names and calling me all these different stuff because you don't like what I said. I think that's the biggest part is, and the Gaines lady, I've been on podcasts with her before. You know, here's what people don't like. Sometimes people are giving experience based off what they've seen and heard, and somebody are giving real life experience of what they actually dealt with. I had to deal with this. So the Gaines lady, if I'm not mistaken, she lost. No, her and a transgender woman, they tied. And they told, hey, we're gonna give it to her. All I'm gonna say is this: if how you feel in the dark is not what you say in the light, you're a coward. Because people do that too now. They can say one thing back there and get on camera. Can they see me? Okay. Stand up. No. What I said back there is what I said right here. Right? Hey, listen. When we go out here, I'm gonna say this. I don't really believe that. But I'm in front of these cameras. Or, no, I'm sorry. I got to keep what I have. What? If I say the wrong thing, I can lose what I've earned. And you want to know why they really hate LeBron? Right there. LeBron can say it exactly how he feel it to whomever he's talking to, and he ain't going to lose a dime. Why? Because he just giving his opinion. And if you don't want my opinion, do two things. Don't ask me and stop listening to me. If you don't like what I'm saying, why you keep listening to me? And why you keep asking me? There are people that think that the world is flat. That is their opinion. They're wrong, but they can have that opinion. There are people that think that the sky is green and not blue. That is their opinion. But Sophie Cunningham was asked, and she got a podcast, but I will tell Sophie this. If you can't deal with the criticism of what you say, don't say it. It's simple. No comment. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I wish everybody the best, right? Because the same rights that people are fighting for now, other people fought for different rights back in the day. But here's the thing about rights. You don't got to like it, and that might not be your cup of tea. That might not be your group or demographic, but people are going to fight for it. But if you asking me how I feel about it, I'm just giving you my feelings on it. But let me say this right now, right? When it comes to, trans athletes and trans people, it's a subject that is hard to really get into because everybody gonna have something different to say. But if you don't want to hear what people say, don't ask them. Did you just answer me when I asked you that? Yeah. Is that how you feel? Yeah. Like, hey Ben, not to compare the two. Hey, Florida's playing, the University of Florida's playing the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday. Who you like? Well, I want Florida to win, but I think Atlanta's gonna win. You think Florida's gonna? You asked me, right? You asked me. So yeah, Sophie Cunningham, if she didn't know before, when she started saying this stuff, sweetie, you put yourself in that type of limelight, you're gonna get a lot of unnecessary criticism. Because I believe this, and I could be wrong. I believe that 90% of these people, they just trolling. They just coming at you because it's trendy, because they don't got the answer to nobody. But I'm gonna say this, and I get it from my grandfather. If what you say about me, you can't say it to me, you a coward anyway. You can't even say it to me. Not that I'm gonna do nothing to you, but you fear what I could do to you. That's why you ain't gonna. Sophie, just stand on business. It's fine. You won't be the first or the last, right? But maybe it ain't politics. Well, you don't even know if Sophie Cunningham is a liberal or not. How they gonna say she right wing? They don't know what this girl is. She's giving her opinion. You see how soon as you give an opinion,
blue-eyed, blonde hairs and white. That's why they.
I'm just saying, because people be like, "Hey man, are you this? I'm that." No, my name is Benjamin. Why does it matter? Why does it matter what political affiliation I am or whatever? I say, this ain't a political show, so we don't get into it. But who you think is helping you? Did your bills go down? No, your bills went up. Did the prices go down? No, the prices went up. Did the gas go down? No, the gas went up. So what I'm saying is, athletes, I know we don't want to do this, but athletes are people that pay taxes, that have an opinion. God forbid, Marv. What did Marv say? You talking about the guy that got a wife and children? Yeah, but he played football. No, he was one of the best. He was a professional athlete, like a doctor or a lawyer. They was a professional. They had to go to law school. Well, he had to go to college, and he got to play in the pros. You don't like it because he got a 401k through sport, and you had to get a 401k through 30 years of working at the same business and let you go at year 29 because they didn't really want to give you a 401k. That ain't got nothing to do with that. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me because I learned about the stock market from investing in my 401k, and you learned about the stock market, right, from having to move to New York. Don't get mad. And people, so don't ask us regular people, everyday walking people questions because we might be a little bit more informed than we let off. I know I don't look like much. Now my wife is bad. I got a bad, my lady bad. She's a bad chick. Me, not so much. So if you want to know how I really think, when I pull up, don't worry about me. Look at that thing, get off on that passenger side. You're like, God, that's how I really think. So that stuff you talking about, I don't really care no way. It ain't doing nothing for me. But I will say this. We gonna keep talking trash over here at the fan in the end because we people. And if you can say it to me, say it about me. But if you can't say it to me, please be quiet. Because I don't like that. I don't like that. And some of you out there, and I know I'm speaking for Marvin and Steve, I know some of y'all are ex-handlers. You think you slick. I know who you really are, sir. I know you switched it. But Kevin Durant, you ain't Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant got security. He can have burner accounts. I know who you are. I know where you live. I know where you congregate. I ain't going to show up on you. But just know, I'm going to just leave it at that. Because people think I'm crazy out here, Marv, and I'm like this. And when I look at you and say, what's your name? And my name Ralph. No, you act so-and-so, right? What? Uh-huh. Just know I know people that know how to get to the bottom of stuff. But Sophie, it's fine. It's a moment in time that's gonna move on, and then somebody else gonna say something, and they gonna get the spotlight, and it's gonna move on. But nobody said, like you say, to every athletic category, you got sections. Why don't middleweights fight bantamweights? Right? There's a reason why the fastest woman in the world ain't compared to the fastest man. They got their own categories, but we do got mixed martial art. We got the sprint medley to where you got. So look, here's the thing, right? And this is just me. If a transgender woman who used to be a man wins, you got to give it to the second place, right? Because to me, if you want to compete that bad, if you want to do it that bad, you got to defer. Why? Because what was you winning when you was competing with men? I haven't seen that many men that compete with men that was balling and say, I'm gonna go. I ain't never, and like I say, this is my countryside coming out. Ain't like I really know, but this is one side. And my thing is, people always talking about if LeBron transition to, you know what I'm saying? I get if WNBA players wanted. Brittany Griner said she wanted to try for the NBA, right?
Man movie where everyone's going to accept it, right?
and look, all I'm saying is this: ain't nobody hating. Listen, nobody's hating nobody. Ain't nobody doing. And I don't like when people say that person hating on this person, that person spreading hate. Is it, or that person giving their opinion? So it's always going to be a very sensitive subject, but a lot of subjects are, right? But Sophie, if you ever want to know what it's like to be misunderstood, try being a black athlete and say anything. You can say anything. You can say, "Hey man, was you at Dairy Queen yesterday?" Yes. What? Yes. You anything. And I don't like to make this thing a black and white thing, but Cooper DeJean, ask Cooper DeJean the next time you get a chance to talk to Steven, how many times people ask him, "Dude, you a white cornerback?" Ask him how many times he got asked that in Philly. I guarantee you, because he's an anomaly. Like, you ain't seen that since Jason Sehorn. What was that? 2000? Was that 2000 at Super Bowl? God. She'll be all right. She making money, man. She'll be all right. She'll be okay.
FIFA World Cup's already gotten themselves in some muck now, because apparently the cities that were promised payments are now chasing them for said payments. Now, the host cities were promised or reported like about $1 million payments. And FIFA reportedly made, $15 billion in revenue during this recent cycle of the World Cup. Why are the host cities, we're almost now a month out from crowning the world champion, chasing the money they were promised for allowing them to hold the World Cup in their cities, where they had to make stadium changes and all these changes to accommodate them, and they're chasing the host cities are chasing them down for money they should already been taken care of for. It's one of those things that it's like you'd expected something that should have just been automatically taken care of once everything was said and done with. Obviously, it's not that easy, just give somebody $1 million, right? Regardless of the fact, but the fact that the cities are now chasing FIFA down for their promised payments is, again, not a good look on FIFA soccer, being the fact that they cleared $15 billion. Marvin.
Look, at the end of the day, corporate America is the devil. You know what I'm saying? And they, we already know what they can do and how they do. But listen, they're gonna probably say it's paperwork, it's a process. We haven't got all the money yet. Accounting hasn't done this yet. I mean, y'all heard it before. Y'all been in the game a long time. You know what I'm saying? It also wouldn't shock me to find out that there were some backhand deals and people line their pockets and don't come up with some excuses. I mean, it's corporate America, so it's all on the table, right? Does it shock me? No. Do I think they're going to get their money? Yeah, because it's a horrible look for FIFA moving forward. And if these cities don't get paid, you're going to have some investigations and people's names start popping on the list. You don't want that. So they're gonna get their money. Is what I would bet. But it's unfortunate that you're right. A month later, they still ain't. They got debt and expenses, but they ain't got their check yet. So I get that.
Ben.
All right, I want to read y'all something. This is why stuff is okay. They said the promise was the FIFA president Gianni Infantino previously awarded $1 million per city for 2025 Club World Cup to build many pitches and fund social projects. The expectation, hosted executives state that FIFA management verbally reassured them that $1 million legacy payout would extend to the 2026 World Cup. FIFA never formalized the promise in a public announcement. Let me tell you something. So if somebody said something that wasn't written, so one person said, yeah, man, we're going to give you $1 million. Okay. Well, can we get in the right? No. It's cool. We're going to get it to you. All right. Well, here's, but at the top it said the 2026 World Cup governing body, it says, FIFA management verbally assured local committees that the funding would mirror grants given during the 2025 Club World Cup. The governing body, that's two different things. One person saying it and another person got the delivery. Let me tell you why. If the Common Sense Committee would have been that person over there just said, y'all do got it. But this person over here say, you gonna get it. Why we got to talk to y'all in different places? Why can't we get written? Well, here's the thing, right? Your cell phone, didn't you have to sign something? Oh, I had to sign something. That's why I got to pay y'all this money. Your rent or your mortgage, I had to sign something. When I got it, Marv, you was in the league, we signed contract. Ain't nobody say, I'm going to give it to you. There's some funny business going on. And you know what's crazy? You if you really want to know how much the United States ain't familiar with the World Cup, this right here. You let somebody tell you they're going to give you $1 million and you didn't get it in writing? What they said in good faith. What? No. I mean, I'm just saying, you smelling like, you know what from a bull right now. That's what it's smelling like. And I could be wrong, but Mom, Steve, y'all got y'all car worked on before. What's the first thing you ask? You ask how much it costs, right? That's going to decide if you're going to get it. But then, hey, I want a receipt and a printout. I want to see how this broke down. You're not going to give me a receipt that just got $1,100 on it. No, what did you do? It says right here, man, that you spent, They said we're going to give y'all $1 million every host seat. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what happened, though. I guarantee you it was another host city that told him, hey, man, it was a city that wanted to be a host city that said, why y'all back down? Because I smell something funny, man. What you mean? Like, they just told y'all they give me y'all $1 million? Yeah. They made billions of dollars for the World Cup. They can't give y'all $1 million? Yeah. That's like a millionaire giving you $1,000. They ain't even going to feel that. Hey, I mean, once again, you said it though, Marv. Corporate America is cutthroat. And guess what? You call and say, hey, man, this is so-and-so from the host city. We just trying to, man, we told you we're going to give it to you, man. Stop calling. Because that is what they said. They didn't write nothing down. This happened for the FIFA World Cup. Well, think about this. I don't know if you ever got to do this, Marv. When Tampa had a Super Bowl back in 2008, I was living in Tampa. And my realtor that sold me my house was like, hey, man, Ben, somebody want to rent your house out for the Super Bowl. And she said, they want to pay you, I think it was like 10 bands to get your house for a week. I said, cool. You know what she said? But before you do anything, you got to get in writing. Why? Because that writing protects you. If they mess your house up or whatever, for real, I'm 24, maybe, at the time. And I'm like, all right, cool. Now, I just wanted the money, but she wanted the protection. Hey, before you move. And this is crazy to me. I mean, I didn't think that at this. So when people start saying it's incompetence even at the highest levels, the answer is yes. Mm-hmm. There is no way you told me you're going to give me $1 million and I can't see it. I can't read it. Oh, okay, you're going to give it to me on this date, on this time. Okay. Well, hey, man, I play football. We do contracts over here. I need to see it. You know what I'm saying? And if this is every day, wait a minute. How many host cities was it? About like 10 of them? There was a bunch of them, right?
Yeah. Well, no,
I think what you're going
to see happen from this is moving forward. Like we need it up front. We're not waiting after the fact.
Number one. Once again, it made billions of dollars. You don't got $1 billion. I can't get. And here's the thing. This is what everybody really trying to say. That's all. You got to host a World Cup. They're gonna give you $1 billion. Dang, I wonder how much these economies made. and they giving you a meal. You know what it is? I don't want to say this though. Sound like the person they told these to in every city. They don't sound like this. They sound like middlemen. They ain't talking to no decision maker. Ain't no freaking way. Marv, with what you do for the PA and different stuff or whatever, right? Before you even send out an email, you got to make sure it's legit. You got to make sure. Every email, everybody ain't got an email because you go, hey man, when I went to your website, ain't nothing popping up. I can't do this. Hey bro, get right and call me back. You ain't putting out just, hey Marv, I played. Can we do this? Well, let me see your organization. Let me see your venue. Let me see you. It's some betting going on for you. All right, I'll get it written up for you, bro. Not, hey Marv, can we do this? And tell the guys to come through. Are you gonna have food for them? No. Well, what's the benefit of players coming through? Man, we former players. Nah, be a little more than that. And this is you, Marv, knowing how to do things. This is crazy. Hey, so if you got finesse, the managing governing party, and the FIFA, what is it gonna hurt the FIFA World Cup guy to say? He don't got to give out no money. I bet you he got his money. Steven, I bet you he got his check.
Yep.
You know, that's listen, I guess, man, like I say, you remember when these NFL stadiums didn't have nothing about the World Cup on these stadiums? You see why? You see why now, right? Hey, I ain't putting nothing up. Nope. We ain't advertising nothing.
That blew me away.
Because guess what? Jerry Jones was like, what you mean? How much you gonna give us? We're gonna give you $1 million for the World Cup. You'll give me $1 million. I'll pick that Prescott 60. You know what, man? No. So if we want to put some advertising, will not happen. Not over here. You get to use it and get the hell out. Use it and leave. And clean it up before you leave. You know what? They Airbnb'd us. That's what this is. Oh my God. And you ain't get paid. They told your whole stadium, but you ain't get nothing. Hey man. And I guarantee you that you're not the next time the World Cup come back around. No, forget that. In 2028, the Summer Olympics is coming to LA. I bet you that won't happen in LA. They're gonna be like, no. We got to get ours up front. What? With this traffic? Yeah, let me get that. I mean, Marv, let me ask you, Marv, you own Mercedes-Benz. It's Marv, and the FIFA World Cup say they want to give you $1 million. $1 million? This ain't even for the. Well, this is for the city though. This ain't even for the stadium itself. This is for the city. If somebody say, Marv, how much you get for them using your stadium? Don't worry about it. Undisclosed. They gave you $1 million. Beyonce not being here, boy. Beyonce performing. $1 million. Come on, bro. Stop playing with me. I got a yacht cost more. Stop. $1 million for a whole city? Now, my little town of Swainsboro, we can use that $1 million. Now, you can do some stuff down there with that. What is $1 million gonna do for Atlanta? For Philly? For New York? For Jersey? Man, stop. Y'all got finesse, man. They laughing at us. I mean, Messi made more than that. He made more than that playing in it. That's crazy. That's sad. Okay. I play football, and I play one podcast.
Let's talk a little baseball because we're getting close to the Field of Dreams game. Obviously, and you know, I think that's probably going to be the last fun thing that we're going to see about this season because you know, trade deadline, Marvin's Dodgers is officially cheating, y'all. Cheating. I love it, but Ben was sitting there saying this with some of the rumors we were hearing about the Eagles over the last year. Y'all cheating now.
The Dodgers are the new Yankees, man.
Well, I mean, look. I know you don't. I know you don't want to hear it. I know you don't want to hear it, Ben. But they officially have a better rotation than the Smoltz, Glavin.
Yeah.
They have the, in my opinion, the best pitching rotation that we've ever seen over the last 100 years, almost. Right.
Yeah.
Can you name a better rotation than what the Dodgers got? And people are like, the Dodgers are ruining baseball. The Dodgers are ruining baseball. I don't think it's per se just the Dodgers because the Phillies made an offer. I don't know if people have seen it. The Phillies did make an offer. Detroit just like the Dodgers offered better, and we got outbid. It happens. I'm not mad at the Dodgers for it, but let's break down why the fans are sitting there saying this, right? let's break this down for a second. And this is the real reason why. Is because of how they structured everything. That they have $1.1 billion in deferred money, I think, going out to at least 2045 is the 2046. And Otani, Betts, Snell, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Kyle Tucker, Tommy Edman, Hernandez, Scott. I mean, Edwin Diaz. They have almost a full roster of guys who are on the deferred payment. I get why fans are feeling that way. What they're doing isn't illegal. It's nothing that
Strategic.
that Major League Baseball hasn't allowed to happen prior to this date.
It's your boy's contract. What's his name? The one that get $1 million every year. What's his name?
Not Barry Bonds.
Bobby
Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla.
And you know what? But you know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy? People are mad at the Dodgers because they didn't think the Dodgers
People
could do that.
don't know Bobby Bonilla has three of those
other
things.
teams do that. They just not. Other teams do that. They're just not good teams. Like other. How do you think you really pay these players? You really think I can pay you what the Dodgers they pissing me off, and they didn't need nobody else, man. Like you got everybody. You got Freddie Freeman, you got Mookie Betts.
All right, here's the thing. Are you going to get mad at the Dodgers for trying to become one of the first modern day baseball teams with three-peat?
No.
There's potentially a strike next season.
I'm not mad at them.
Chips in?
I'm not mad at them. It's just I don't. The one little I don't like it when these plans be working for real, man. Like when the Dodgers, I'm for real, man. Like what the Dodgers are doing, the Dodgers baseball is one of those games where you make yourself so attractive and you get a superstar that is the team that he's on don't want to pay him. Because usually a superstar is on a bad team. And they don't want to pay him what he's worth. So they'll let whoever come get him. Because bad teams in baseball, they're gonna be bad. They're not rising from the ashes anytime soon. But the thing about the Dodgers is the Dodgers didn't need no hit. I mean, look, Freddie Freeman, I'm gonna never get over that. He wanted to be a Brave. I gotta deal with it. When Otani went to the Dodgers, what the? I'm still y'all got Otani? What? Like they didn't need nobody. They winning without him. The Dodgers are so good. Otani is on he's on IR. And it don't even matter. I'm sick of them, man. The Dodgers they nice, man. And go ahead, Marv.
I was gonna say, man, the rich get richer. But on a side note, what I love as a Laker fan is that the ownership group of the Dodgers, who's running the Dodgers so well and then turn them into champions and know how to build a roster and know how to get around cap issue, whatever it may be, they own the Lakers too. So maybe this means, seriously, that matters. So maybe that means that they're going to run the Lakers like a well-oiled machine and we're going to see championships again. But no, man, it's great for the Dodgers. Again, I grew up in LA and New York. I'm a Dodger fan and a Yankee fan. And I think it's extraordinary, the roster they've been able to put together. And when Steven, talks about it rivals the Braves roster with the crew you had, that speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm excited as a somewhat baseball fan.
I mean,
like I said, I'm not the one that's going to sit there and say the Dodgers are ruining baseball. Baseball's been getting in their own way for a while, and this isn't a thing that the Dodgers had a specific thing that has ruined baseball. Baseball's been getting in their own way for a long time, and it has nothing to do with the Dodgers' recent success. Some people are even has gone the far as say the Dodgers' bankruptcy back in the early 2010s is kind of what has created this thing, because they were giving special considerations on TV contracts. That's why they have all this excess money, etc. I can't sit there and say a team that was on the verge of bankruptcy, a little bit more than 12, 13, 14 years ago, that's the reason why they're good now. You're good because you draft well. You're good because players want to play for your team, your city, your organization. They do. In my opinion, I think it's the Dodgers' season to lose. In my opinion, if doesn't mean that they're, despite how good they are, there isn't going to be a team that's going to match them. Bat for bat, pitcher for pitcher, etc. There are teams that could, but you gotta come up with something. I don't think the Phillies are gonna be able to do it. I feel that even with the moving things around, sending Bryce back out to the outfield, getting that shortstop from San Francisco over, who delivered immediately last night. He had two RBIs in his first two hits. Granted, but I still feel that the only one that's going to beat the Dodgers now is going to beat themselves. That's the only way that they don't three-peat at this point in time. They got the pitching rotation. They got the bats. They got the utility men. Everything you need to go for a deep run, which is why they've already won two in a row. So I think the real question is, are they this generation's dynasty? If they win this third one, they are this generation's dynasty. The Chiefs fell short of it. The Eagles put an end to that, right? They have to be at this point in time if they wind up winning this season. And
Yeah, they were gonna think about it. The Dodgers was picked to win it without the trade deadline, without what they've added. They was already picked to win it. And the thing about the Dodgers is, man, they play their best baseball in the freaking postseason. Them bats get hot. That freaking pitching is lights out. If you are on the pitching staff, I'm pretty sure you got to turn in a postseason roster. All of them, and with the pitch count now, Steven, you already know what is really, really good about the Dodgers. They freaking bullpen. So even when they aces, if there isn't even such thing as an ace anymore because of the pitch count, the Dodgers just make you mad, man, because they can beat you in a lot of ways. They can beat you with their bats. They can beat you with their pitching. They can beat you with their bullpen. They can beat you with their defense. They don't got a lot of flaws. They build their team where not one guy going down doesn't hurt them. And obviously, my Braves, boy, it just, God, I just wish Freddie Freeman wasn't a Dodger, man. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why are we going? But like, I give credit when credit's due. The Dodgers, they do it the right way. And they're gonna keep you honest. I mean, you ain't gonna ever catch the Yankees in World Series. There's just way too many. They in the 20s. It's crazy how many they got. And I don't even think the Dodgers number 2. I think it's like the Cardinals who got the second most. They got like 11 or 12 or something. Then I think it's like the Dodgers and the Red Sox and stuff like that. But as far as like the Yankees haven't won a World Series, I think since like 2009 or something like that, right?
Yeah, when they beat my Phillies. Yep.
Oh man, and the dynasty now is the Dodgers, because a lot of these kids now are looking. They say, man, the Dodgers be like, yeah, man, the Dodgers are good. They ain't going nowhere. That's the problem. These rosters. So, as far as like how they do with the money, man, they ain't doing nothing different. And guess who the Dodgers learn how to maneuver that money from? The Yankees. That's who taught them how to do it. Because I remember when the Yankees, if you were a good player, a good pitcher, I remember when they got CC Sabathia. I said, you know what, bro? I'm about to be for real. And obviously, Derek Jeter, the captain. Derek Jeter get on my nerves. He's so freaking good at baseball. But nah, man, shout out to the Dodgers right now. They are the team. They are the team to beat, because it's hard to, they like the Lakers when they had Kobe and Shaq, man. You couldn't beat them. When Kobe and Shaq was in their prime, 3P. Wait a minute. Yeah. Phil Jackson, we did a 3P 3 times. That's crazy. He did it twice with the Bulls and once with the Lakers. He went from Mike and Scotty to Kobe and Shaq. Cheater. He's lucky.
All right, let's talk a little football as we get down to the last 10 minutes or so. Unfortunately, we got to kick this off with some sad news, as it was announced this week that former Packer running back Amon Green reveals that he has Parkinson's disease. and anyone who watched the Packers during the '90s, Mr. Green was very much a well part of that. 1-2 punch him and Dorsey Levens there in Green Bay. You know, it's unfortunate part of the wear and tear and the damage that some of these players have. Hopefully, friends, family, NFLPA, NFL themselves make sure that he's got all the care he needs moving forward. Marvin, your thoughts on Amon Green's Parkinson's diagnosis?
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. I was in camp with him in 2000 up in Green Bay. Got a chance to know a little bit. Real good dude. You hate to hear it, man. You hate to hear it. The reality is Parkinson is something that affects people all over the world. Regardless of what you do for a living or what you did. In this case, just because of how CTE's been blown up in the media and the movie and everything, you wonder how much of that is attributed to football. Just he's calling a spade, right? And it's unfortunate. One of the unfortunate stories, for a former NFL player, one of a great Packer at that. Amon Green was definitely one of the better running backs of his day, along with Dorsey Levens up in Green Bay. But you hate to hear that, for anybody, regardless of who they are. Period. Because you understand, we all saw Muhammad Ali go through it. We saw a genius, really deteriorate, and that's what that disease does. And it's unfortunate. So, man, my hearts and prayers go out to Ahmad and his family. Again, solid brother, good dude, good human being. Aside from being a good dude, again, was a great player. So, yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad.
Ben.
Yeah, I agree with what Marv said. I think sometimes when it comes to like former players, and I know that Brett Favre also got diagnosed with it as well. It makes you wish like you knew these guys just so you could send them an encouraging word. Obviously when you play in the National Football League, it's so many of us. It's many to us, but it's very few to the viewing public. It's not that many of us. And Ahman Green was a guy, that you grew up watching. I know I did. I mean, I remember him, being behind Brett Favre and the way he carried the football. But he already talked about how he uses medication and a clean diet and different things to keep himself like as healthy as he can. And I know that a lot of former players, they don't want to tell the world, not because they don't want the world to know. They don't want you to treat them like what they've been diagnosed with. They still want you to see them as, who they are. But we definitely wishing him the best. I know he's gonna do all he can to fight it. And but listen, Parkinson's happens to everyday people. So being a former athlete, you're not exempt. And maybe we definitely could speed up the process with what we chose to do. But I know I speak for Marv. I do not have one regret, man. Not one. Because football was the thrill of my freaking life, man. I got hit and I hit back. Sometimes I got up, sometimes I didn't. But no, I'm not going to blame it on the game, and I cannot speak for Amon Green or whatever. People say, hey, Ben, would you let your son play football? He plays right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Football is not the reason why these things happen to us. We just speed it up because of it. Things happen, man. Ask your average physical therapist how many people you see a week got torn ACLs. Athletes are everyday people. They the reason why I got this freaking so. But Amon, we will be praying for you, sir, man. I think they do it the ways awareness and the ways research for, and still obviously playing for Chris Johnson, and what he's dealing with as well, man. It just hits a little deeper when you talk about former athletes because either we knew each other or knew of each other or watched each other in one of those categories. So, but I will be praying for him.
Yeah, and the injury bug has already started in training camp. A couple guys already. Season-ending injuries. Ricky Pearsall has to be the most unluckiest wide receiver I've ever seen in their first 3 years in the league. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson looked like he ruptured his Achilles, but I seen something that came out this week about Chauncey that I want to talk about because we don't always get to hear stories like this, but Johnson apparently already gifted a staff for $20K to help pay for their student loans. And basically was just like, she helps us on the field, right? Keeps us fresh. They with us here from camp, so why not repay with respect? CJ Gardner Johnson, love him, hate him, indifferent about him. He's just a real dude, and I got to give him his flowers there. He's still one of these guys. Despite the fact on two different exits from Philadelphia, still one of these guys out there when he sees the Jalen Hurts disrespect, calling BS where he sees it. Hope CJ recovers quickly. Maybe it's not as bad as is feared. We'll see what happens when MRIs come out, but hearing that things like that coming from someone like CJ, it's a pretty cool story, don't you think, Ben?
Shoot, yeah, exactly, man. I think CJ Gardner Johnson, he's a throwback football player. Like, he talks a lot, but he backs it up. And for everybody that want to know, the type of player he was, CJ Gardner Johnson played 3 years with the University of Florida. In both bowl games he played in, he was a defensive MVP. He played in 3, he was defensive MVP in 2. And if you want to know his track record since he's been in the NFL, since he left the New Orleans Saints, he's played in not 1, not 2, but 3 NFC Championship games. 2 with the Eagles, 2 Super Bowls, and 1 with the Lions. So the boy can play football. But what he did for that staff member, that's who he is, right? You know how many other players on the play for Buffalo make way more than CJ? Hey, man, he said, put it in my phone, man. He said, that's the least I can do for you. So say what you want about CJ, man. I think he left the Eagles the right way. I think going on the Pippen podcast, he was able to tell those players what he meant to them. But CJ Gardner Johnson, man, is the type of player you want to play with because he's going to hold you accountable. He's going to smack you. He's going to hold you accountable out there because when you talk, you got to back it up. But I'm happy that it's not season ending for him. I think he's really taking a liking to Bills Nation, which I don't think it's hard to do that. To take a liking to those guys, to that fan base. But I hope he speedy recovery. And hey, man, who knows? It could be a Buffalo Bills Eagles Super Bowl or something like that crazy. I've seen crazy things happen. But no, shout out to CJ, man, and what he did for that young lady, because who knows what that's gonna do for her. When she sat down with him, if you look at that video where he said, go ahead and put in that 20,000, she's like, what? Like, yeah. What? You gonna do that? Yeah, I'm doing it. Look at it. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man, most of us wish we was blessed enough to be in position to just sit down on a random day and give somebody 20K and go about your day. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to CJ for that, man. It's bigger than football. Yes. And I think he's showing that. Whatever opinion you got about CJ, there's nothing he can do to sway you. But make sure you look at the whole story. As my granddaddy say, look at the whole movie. Read the whole book before you judge.
Your thoughts on CJ's gifting, Marvin?
Yeah, I'm just happy to see another positive story from an NFL player. I think we live in a world where people love drama and, they like to overblow things. In this case, it's a positive story. It's a human interest story. The reality is there's a tremendous amount of generosity exhibited by NFL players, professional athletes that you don't hear about, that you never hear about. You know what I'm saying? Just like in any other profession around the world, the difference with ours is, it's always done that there's drama, but you don't get that same energy for all the good that these dudes is doing. So, I'd love to see that this dude has gratitude, has a heart, and felt he had an opportunity to have real impact on somebody's life. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm happy that the world got a chance to see a little bit about who this man is.
Absolutely. CJ's an awesome dude. Was lucky to meet him at a meet and greet signing here in Philadelphia when he was here his first time around. But I mentioned Ricky Pearsall, and already have a season-ending injury and all that. But that opened the door for a unique situation as Deebo Samuel is now back in San Francisco, and from what we've heard from the coaches there, he's going to have a similar role to where he was before. You're going to see him in the slot. You're going to see him in one. You're going to see him in the running back. You're going to see him in jet sweeps. You're going to see that San Francisco offense that we've seen in 2023. Do you think they're in a better position now with Deebo back in the mix in the wide receiver room with a Mike Evans, with a healthy George Kittle, with a healthy Brock Purdy, Marvin. You think San Francisco?
I think in this offense, Mike Evans going to eat. That's what I think. It depends, man. Is Debo Samuel from 5 years ago on the Niners, or is this an older player who I think is coming off injury or got injured this past season? Is this somebody who's going to be able to have that same explosion, that same twitch? I don't know. I got to see it first. It may just be a name signing. I don't know. I hope he can have impact. I like him as a player. I love how he plays the game. But Father Tom is undefeated, right? So let me see what we get first, and then I can answer that question. But regardless, they got a hungry Mike Evans, and I think he gonna do his thing out there. So we'll see about Debo.
Ben?
Yeah, I think it gives a level of familiarity with a guy like Kyle Shanahan. I didn't even realize that Debo Samuel's got like 21 rushing touchdowns. But you can do a lot with a player like that. And I think the thing about Kyle Shanahan, the reason why he brings Debo back is because it takes some of the load off of Christian McCaffrey because they ask so much of him. Debo and Christian McCaffrey are not the same player, but you can do a lot with both of them. I do think Christian is the better athlete than Debo, but Debo, his best year, his first team All-Pro season, he was with San Francisco. So they know how to get the most out of him. But, yeah, I'm always happy to see players land in good spots, Debo is not going to be the receiver. He's not going to be that down-the-field receiver. But you talk about in between the numbers, in between the hash marks. Oh, he can do some things. So, yeah, I think that Kyle Shanahan is going to get the most. When you got a Christian McCaffrey, when you got a Debo, when you got a Mike Evans, like you mentioned, when you got, George Kittle, you can do a lot with an offense like that, especially when you got Trent Williams, still blocking for you on the left tackle. But, yeah, I feel bad for, Ricky Pearsall, another Florida Gator man, get shot when he first get drafted. Now his knee blown out, going to miss the whole season. Hey, man, football, it's unforgiving. In the NFL will be the first time you dealt with real injury. I'm not talking about being hurt. Injuries. You can't even play, practice, but hey man, the show must go on. Even my father, man, Jalen Walker, he out, second-year player, first-round pick out of Georgia last year, blew his knee out. Training camp is where you try to stay as healthy as you possibly can. Unfortunately, more ACL, somebody tear the ACL every week in the regular season, but it's a plethora of them in training camp. So all these little cute training videos, where they running routes and then until grown men push back up against you, that ain't football. You can look real cute on air.
I'm gonna just say, look, we've already seen a bunch of injuries. Hell, AJ Brown dislocated his thumb, and they didn't even really do anything yet. So
I'm trying to tell you, man, training camp, especially when you a rookie, man, that's what grown men play. This ain't no joke. I was with the Tampa Bay Bucks in 2008 when they drafted Dexter Jackson in the second-round pick when Appalachian State beat Michigan that year. So he was their kick returner. And that joker ran like a 4.2 40. Akeem Talib was the first-round pick out of Kansas. And then Dexter Jackson was the second-round pick out of – and his first game was against New Orleans, and he kept fair catching it. And when we got to the meeting room, especially, they asked him, man, why do you keep fair catching it? He said, because every time I catch it, the other team, they be right there. He said, what is the league? You think you're going to get wide open space? He said it out loud, and I think he realized when he said it out loud, he said, man, they be right there. He said, what you think they're going to be? And he said, I was in practice one time, and I had a D lineman catch me from behind. That dude got bills, bro. The dude that caught you. And he started the end. And I think, and when he said it out loud, I told Dex, I said, Dex, come here, bro. Come here. What? I say, boy, don't say everything you feel, young. He said, but Ben, man, that was right there. I said, you a kick returner right there. But you better show him you can take a punch, boy. You better show him. And that's the league, though, man. People don't get it. It's a 6-foot rule when it comes to the league in football. If you over 6 feet, you got to prove you can't play football. And if you under 6 feet, you got to prove you can. Look at how good Tyreek Hill is. Look at how good Debo Samuel is. Look at how good Christian McCaffrey is. Because they out there with them 6-foot guys. So, Dexter, I love you wherever you are. But That was his rude awakening. Second round pick. Guess what? They cut him in year 2. I'm just second round pick. I'm just saying that. Ain't for the week.
All right. Well, we're over the 2-hour mark. You know how we wrap this one up, fellas. Marvin, parting shots, final thoughts for this afternoon.
Man, 24 days until USC football starts. We got NFL football tomorrow, Hall of Fame game, preseason game. I remember my first preseason game in Miami. It was Marino's last season. I was nervous as heck, so my heart and prayers go out to these rookies. I hope they go out there and ball out tomorrow night in the Hall of Fame game. You can catch me social media, Marvin Powell III, Marvin on the mic. I'm here every Wednesday with Steve and Ben on the Fan in the End. You can catch me 2-3 times a week with USCJ, and I'm also writing and doing videos for Roundtable Sports. Other than that, fight on. Great show.
Ben, your parting shots, final thoughts for this afternoon.
It's always a blessing to be on with you two incredible gentlemen. It's always humbling to do what you do with people you admire. Always catch me winning the division on Monday nights, the Fan in the End on Wednesdays, 84 Reasons, No Weddings in the Fall, gonna be jumping back off. I got Scoop in the Vet, I got the backstory. I'm soon to come, just being Troupe. But look, if you have a child that's under 1 and they don't want to take a nap, call the police. They should get a fine for resisting arrest. Marvin Powell, Hall of Fame.
And we're going to get into Hall of Fame snubs next week on the show. We got a couple interviews lined up for over the next 7 to 8 days. Friday, Cut Man Extraordinaire Jacob Stitch Duran is going to be hopping on with me. Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. But next week, Mr. Marcus Pollard is jumping back on with us. We had him on last season. We're going to have him back on again next week. Picking his mind, he's former Colts tight end. He's working inside the Jaguars organization at the current time. We'll talk a little football with Mr. Pollard like we did last time. See how he's feeling about this upcoming season. But other than that, another fun episode in the book. Make sure you guys are locked in. QR codes up in the top left-hand corner. I'm Steve. That's Marvin. That's Ben. This was another episode of The Fan in the End. We will catch you guys on the rebound.